and their friends. Hello, I'm Dr. Wesley Carter, and I'm the creator of Kids by Carter, a KRS practice. What you're about to see is the Building Powerful Partnerships. This is the educator component. We'll work with educators to teach them how to build strong and enduring relationships with parents, and in turn, how to produce children that are intellectually competent, emotionally mature, and socially responsible.
So I got a school, and then we started texting each other, and so there you have Dr. Wesley Carter. Thank you.
Now, what she didn't tell you is I repurpose everything. So what you're going to learn today about building relationships with parents, it's going to work with your husband, it's going to work with your children, it's going to work with anybody that it is to your benefit to have a relationship with. But let me tell you how this started. 9 years ago, I got divorced, tragically. Now it's great, but then tragically. And at the time I thought, well, I'm just going to be walking along and I'm just going to poof and turn into powder because that's all I know how to do. I got married at 19. I was married 21 years. There's nothing else after that. So I started reading all this information about single parents. Everything I read said we are doomed. I had 3 girls. I figured one be on drugs, one be promiscuous, one be hiding up under the house playing truant from school. So everything I read was horrible. But when I looked at companies, and when they hired CEOs to turn companies around, they turned companies around. And I thought, if you can turn 1,000 employees or 300,000 employees, and you can get 200,000 employees marching in the same direction, why can't you take 3 children and get them marching in the same direction? At Kids by Carter, we work with faculty and with parents to position our children for excellence. At Kids by Carter, we work on developing intellectually competent, emotionally mature, and socially responsible leaders. That requires the combination of persistence, passion, a work ethic, and deep fostering of the intellect of every child. So I started looking at what does it take? And from there, looking at the different family structures, what does it take to be sensitive? How do we become inclusive in terms of how we affect parents and how we affect children? How do we become inclusive? In the meantime, I'm teaching graduate school, and so I've got folks in there who never learned to read, who never learned to write. And you start thinking and talking to them and finding out from children, either a teacher demotivated them, or a parent demotivated them, or another child demotivated them, and for whatever reason, they didn't get it. So let's talk about Latino parents, because I work with Latino parents as well. When we talk about the Latino culture, we're talking about 20, not one. We're talking about 20 different countries. So that's one of the myths, is that we're talking about one set of parents. So in terms of building relationships with your children, it's not making an assumption about where they're from. It's really about asking. So when you're talking to your parents, understand that they want to hear that too. They want to hear, but Benji does a great job of saying please and thank you. We're struggling with the reading, but he really does a great, he's a good boy. They want to hear that. That's important, very important. African American families have about 70 structural formations, whereas white families have 40. So that might be an aunt raising the neighbor's kids. As I told you, I teach graduate school. I've got a student now who's raising her niece, and another student who was raising a neighbor's child because they relocated and the child was a senior in high school. That's still a family structure. Mm-hmm. And when mothers can't fulfill their roles, grandmothers do. So when you have activities for parents, you may want to make sure that you include talking to your children about whether a grandparent can come and stand in.
Hi, my name is Angela Grant, and I'm principal at Shamrock Gardens Elementary School in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think the real-world comments that she brings, the humor and the practicality of the things that she says, what she says is things that you know intuitively, but you may not be able to access quickly. And she helps bring what you already know to the forefront, plus giving you information that you can use that you may not have been aware of.
Acceptance of their priorities. A parent's priority may be very different than yours. If you accept their priorities and work within that structure, you're going to get much more cooperation. What is that parent structure? A parent who says, I don't have time to sit down and read with Billy at night. For them, you may want to recommend they do it in the car on the way home. Or for them, you may want to recommend they do it in the morning. I'm a morning person. I'm a much better mother in the morning than I am at night. But it is your responsibility to take as much ownership as you possibly can. It is their responsibility. And you know what? you might have to overcompensate in some situations. Teachers are the great influence on parental involvement. It's how welcome they feel. Do they feel like you're inviting them? Do they feel like you're including them? Do you really want me in your class? Is there really value for me coming to your class? Is it really making a difference with my kid? Is it making a difference with you? Are you sure it's not disruptive? At Kids by Carter, we are committed to developing intellectually competent, emotionally mature, and socially responsible leaders. We are committed to every child reaching their full potential. Please give us a call. We provide workshops, books, one-on-one sessions with parents, students, and educators. KidsByCarter.com. You can call us at 704-992-1211 or email us at info@kidsbycarter.com. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you. I'm Dr. Wesley Carter.